Hey there, all the lovely people, lovely souls out there. Ascension pioneers, welcome back. Polona, welcome back. Yeah, I'm back from my holiday retreat at the seaside. Anyway, I would also like to thank our sister Be Divine on Divine Miracles for sending me this lovely crystal, celestite crystal. I have apparently won at Be Divine giveaway. It was quite a surprise, and all the lovely co-gifts she has sent me also. Thanking you so much, beautiful sister, if you're watching this video. And for today, I just really wanted to read to you all this beautiful writing that I wrote on the 19th of August, sitting at the beach, with the ocean waves just dropping in and flushing away, really tranquil environment, very peaceful energies. And I have named it The Return of Wholeness. And it speaks about something very simple, but also very kind of like what is really going on right now, which is very up to date, and I hope you like it. It's very attuned to the new frequencies and new energies. And then I'll also be reading to you some paragraph from the Gospel of Mary Magdalene book. It's like a novel, and there's this great paragraph that really describes something that is so precious to me in a very beautiful way. Okay, I'll read the automatic writing. What is it that I want to write, dear spirit? What lies there in my heart right now? I wish to know and be a channel for source light. And here's the answer that came through. What is apparently needed right now? There are so many things, yet all of them are lived in this instant, in this eternal now moment. There are so many timelines of our multidimensionality merging with each other right now. There is so much beauty in all of this and this amazing yet intense process. There are so many revelations, and mostly there's so much healing, holding, especially for those of the light who are always more focused on giving and who came here to be of great service. For these and such individuals, there is finally time now to focus more on themselves and to live their earthly lives and build their earthly lives from this point on. This is of great importance, and as this is being of service, as this is being of service as well, how we live our lives. That is what is meant here. Mostly because for these individuals, there is never a time when they are off duty. It is not so much a duty that they are here for. Duty is not the appropriate word, but it is a great calling. This great calling is engraved in the DNA of the person, and the more that they awaken, the more this calling is heard and needed to be fulfilled, kind of like a great destiny. This awakening is directly connected to the heart chakra opening, meaning not only for the heart chakra to function properly and spin in the right direction, but for the fifth and higher dimensional light to be able to flow through the heart area completely and without interruption, to anchor the higher awareness in this body. So mostly being of service before came from the lower dimensional heart and light, but now it's shifting into a higher, fuller gear, the full light spectrum. Basically, everything changes through this activation, and also being of service, therefore. One individual who came here on Earth to assist is never not of service. But if we would reference this as their check-in time, kind of like a clock-in time, at work, how it works, they are then on duty. And this duty is now changing. It is shifting into a finer state where there is less and less need to produce, provide, and create, and more of a need to let go and allow for things to unwind naturally through source. Many are still very much attuned to the old and have slightly forgotten that in these cycles of time, everything changes, even time itself. And so it is, and so it always was, and always shall be. We all know that, right? In this new cycle, there is less, practically none, need to control, for all happens naturally and as it should. That is why for everyone there are now events and scenarios that cannot be controlled. So they can learn, basically remember, the new way of being, and a new way of serving. It is through building of their own life, past, present, and future melting into one, that they learn how to just be and serve merely through who they are, for all are interacting, interchanging with all anyway. This is the new way. No one is serving one more than the other. All is equal and all is but one. There is a strong need to remember this on every level of being. The way showers, pioneers, are only those who get to experience this first so that others can later, in their own divine timing, follow this as well. They're the conduits of light, the storage of power, the lighthouses. Everyone, for all is one, can tap into that power and turn on the light. So basically, they're now getting rid of the old feelings of guilt, being different, not belonging here, and so on. This is a whole wide range of lower emotions. So they can actually truly serve and model others as ambassadors of one light, one source, one power of the divine. That is why they are going through certain earthly experiences, even those that they might have thought and felt that can never happen to them. For they need to feel equally earthly and equally divine. They're remembering how to integrate this wholeness of totality to serve the law of one. You cannot teach and you cannot preach if you do not fully embody it yourself. And we all know this as well. So everyone will go through experiences that they need for their highest good to integrate this. For some, this will mean feeling or purposely disconnected or estranged from spirit, as I said, or purposely doing that. And all things spiritual, of spiritual nature, and be more grounded, live more grounded earthly lives in a more grounded way. For others, this might mean experiencing completely estranged, far off, and unfamiliar things and grounds. For some, the experience will be the need to balance out what they I'm sorry, I really can't read this. It's really bad handwriting. What they will need to balance out what they used to judge in their past or what they felt completely estranged from. This is a much needed process serving a higher purpose and the bigger picture, that of the divine. The less there will be resistance or a need to escape this life and reality, the greater will be the flow of this process. This is something that is needed for the next phase of the experiment, although this is not exactly an experiment, really. This is something that everyone needs to go through in order to become whole, to be the master of the self here on earth, and to become a fully embodied, not just ascended master of ascension. This is to live in a higher state of being, living and breathing as one. This is the destiny of a new and perfected human being. Okay, I hope you like this writing. Like I said, there's nothing basically to add from my point of view because it really describes everything in simple nature as it truly is. It's not something complex that so many people talk about. It truly is nothing complex. But like I say, it truly is not just, becoming this ascended master, but living in this ascended state. So mastering, being the master of ascension, not being an ascended master, that means ascending somewhere away, but really being the master of ascension here on earth and really to assist and serve others. And from this book, from Michelle Roberts, The Secret Gospel of Mary Magdalene, like she wrote it by the Nag Hammadi gospel, like she tapped into it and then she wrote a novel. I didn't really finish it, but I read it right now. There was this great part that I read kind of like synchronistically that I also wrote my own writing and kind of resonated in many points of view, and I would really like to read this. It's something that Mary Magdalene has to say to the other disciples because Jesus, who appeared to her after his death, has told her, and she needed to say this and speak this to everyone else as well. It was kind of hard for her, but she really had to speak what was given to her, this message, and it's really beautiful. And I think it kind of goes hand in hand with my writing, and I would like to read this as well for all those of you who like to tune in. She said, what is necessary for this work is birth, yet, but also rebirth. The fruit of the exile of the man and woman from paradise was not only the soul's fall into time, the world beginning to spin, the rotation of seasons, the division between night and day, our knowledge of bodily life and death. It also signified the discovery of difference between man and woman. It takes two to make one. It takes the man and the woman together to produce the child. Through the knowledge of separation, they are enabled to feel loss and desire and to come together and marry and make a child. It is the same with the soul, but we have forgotten this. We have forgotten in our exile from paradise how to put ourselves back together again. The fall was necessary. Soul entered time. Eternity entered matter and creation. Our bodies allow us to long for God, but the man and the woman within us have become separated and exiled from each other. Only if a man or a woman in this life now, not after death, becomes complete again and attains the fullness of his or her former self in paradise, can he or she experience eternity and the kingdom. The separation of the inner man and the inner woman is a sickness, a great wound. I, Christ, came to repair the separation and to reunite the two and to restore life and health to those in danger of dying of the sickness of the soul. And I do this through offering you rebirth. What is this rebirth? How is it to be activated, achieved? Pardon me. The image of this rebirth is a marriage, as I have told you before, the marriage between the inner woman and the inner man. You must go down deep, down into the marriage chamber, and find the other part of yourself that has been lost and missing for so long. Those who are reunited in the marriage chamber will never be separated again. This is the restoration. This is the resurrection. There are those who will say of me that I died first and then rose up, but they are in error, for I first was resurrected and then I died. If you do not first attain the resurrection, then your souls will shrivel and die. And this is exactly what I'm writing about in my article. It's about us being the masters of ascension, not just ascending somewhere first and then reaching that state, but reaching it here in the body. We have lost the knowledge of the mother. We do not fully know God if we drive out this name of God. And so those who became restored and resurrected through this baptism, through this rebirth in the marriage chamber, shall acquire not only the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, who is Sophia, but also the name of the Mother, who is earth, matter and soul married and indivisible. That is so beautiful and true. I have acquired this name, this fullness, and I have been taken from you. What matters is that you too should acquire it, each one of you by yourself in the depths of yourself, relying on no outside authority but that of God who wants to dwell in you. That is why I always speak in my videos about going within and reaching your own source connection, which you are always connected with because you are source. Celebrate the marriage of body and spirit and become whole. This is what I mean when at our last supper together I told you, he or she who shall not eat my flesh and drink my blood has no life. What does that mean? It means that my flesh is the Word and my blood is Sophia. Receive the Spirit and the Word, and you shall have food and drink and clothing, and shall not suffer want. Suffer want. And your soul shall know God and shall laugh and dance, freed from the bondage of time and ignorance, released in this life into eternity. So there was a pause here. I don't know. Maybe there was something else that I was. Maybe there was something else that was in the book, because I kind of have something else. I guess it was not meant to be read by me, but it was also about us celebrating the earthly matters, because we are those who kind of get to experience this earthly reality, and that is a gift, and that is how we actually experience creation and matter. But we have to fuse spirit with it. And I always speak about the same things in my videos. And if I find the other paragraph where this is explained, I'll try to maybe read it in my other videos. I guess it was not meant to be in this one. But I just hope that everyone really resonated with this in their own perfect little way, because we are all perfect as we are, and we are really getting to know life from a different point of view this year. For me, for instance, a part of my experience was always giving to other people, kind of neglecting those parts of me. For instance, I kept saying to myself, I'm okay, I don't need anything, you know, I'm here to help others. But there was this need, you know, but now the need to be of service is not felt so greatly. Of course, this passion to help, to assist, to be here for the beacon, like a beacon of light, is always there, because it's engraved in the DNA. It's why we know we are here. But there's a different feeling, different attitude coming from the personality part. I guess the personality and our being, which is our spiritual self, they're kind of merging, you know, because the personality part that is lived just in this instant is just a part of all the personalities that are encompassed in the soul. So I guess this personality kind of wants to more fuse the earthly aspects of us right here now and become this perfected earthly beings. So like she says when she keeps speaking on about this, that we just have to allow the spirit to fuse through us. We just have to embrace the spirit and live it in the earthly bodies. Embrace our sexuality, embrace the food that we eat, of course, everything in perfect balance. When we really respect all the creation, all the beings that live here together, co-creating with us. So this is a really important thing that is happening right now on Earth, us realizing this and realizing the truths that have been hidden from us for so long, because what the church did, and so many other dogmas, was they took this simplicity of truth from the people, from the masses, and they taught them the exact opposite. Believe in your sins. Jesus is the only child of God. Believe in sin. Just oh, the exact opposite. If you really become this student of life through yourself, because we all are students of light, we all are remembering but also learning, because creation is constantly rebuilding itself in a new way. Matter keeps changing, but the spirit is eternal. So we're constantly students of this life, but we are learning it through ourselves. And we're embracing these truths through us. And that's why I'm so, focused on making these videos, because I really like the sacredness of truth that is basically very simple, and it keeps being repeated in all the books that you read with the same material, basically gospels. Very similar in the Gospel of Christ, the Aquarian Gospel. Very similar in those books from, what was the writer? The Chosen One and things like that, also about Jesus and Mary Magdalene. It was very interesting books. So anyway, guys, I hope you like this video. Keep enjoying your holidays. I'm back for a while now. Who knows how long, but I'll be tuning in more often right now. And enjoy yourselves wherever you are. Much love. Bye.